Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Dutch Grand Prix. Here we have a fun race ahead of us. This Circuit Zandvoort, the Dutch Grand Prix. Uh, Pretty short track. I don't really know what to say. 14 corners around this one. We have about 36 laps ahead of us. And it's a rather quick lap. 110 being the lap record. And now let's look at the corners. Turn 1. Tarzan corner, as it's called, a long corner, rather, one of the first heavy braking zones, and it's a short run from the line and the grid to this one. Next up, we have turns 2 and 3, a quick sweeping right-hander of Gerlach-Bach into Hugenholz-Bach, also usually known as the Carousel, one of the most banked corners on this circuit. Turns 4 through 6, from Hunzerug to Slotmakerbach. Turns 4 through 6 are long, sweeping curves. Barely even call them corners, they're just flat out, and the drivers in these F1 cars don't even notice them. Next up, turn 7. Shivlak is a long right-hander, flat out in qualifying, but in the race, it's a whole nother beast. And now, we have a little, between turn 7 and 8, there's a little bit of a short run. Be able to calm yourself down, prepare for what is turn 8, also flat out in qualifying, but turns into a very long one to get through, having to lift off the throttle a little bit during a race. Also, here's something we want to note. At the entry of turn 9 and the exit of turn 8, there's a bit of a what's it called? Outer curb there. If you get on that too much and you end up off the grass because it sticks you on, you get stuck on it, and it pulls you out all the way into the gravel. You can lose up to 2-3 seconds, maybe destroys your race. Anyways, turn 9, quick braking zone, and then a nice, calm, flat turn. Bit of a hairpin, actually, if you think about it. And then turn 10, also a bit of an awkward medium speed corner, which goes on to the turn 10 straight off DRS. The second DRS on in this one. Short run in the second longest straight on the track. It's not a long straight for any matters, actually. And then into turns 11 and 12, the Hans Ernst Bach, a bit of a stadium section, a 90-degree corner into a long, sweeping, boring corner. And then you get into what is turn 13. Also on the exit, a curve that can get you stuck on as well. If you get stuck on that one, it'll put you in the wall, and that one can actually give you damage, and that can destroy your race a lot. And also, the DRS activates for the main straight and turn 14, the famous banked corner. This one actually does have DRS, so you gotta be a little bit careful and subtle on your steering movements and not drop the car completely. Then, on the main straight, short run, really, up to the line, and that is your lap of the Dutch Grand Prix, the Circuit Zandvoort. And now, we're gonna get straight into the main qualifying session, which already started. We have 15, and we have a bunch of people already out on the track. Actually, I spent a lot of time doing that intro. I probably shouldn't have. And who will be first on their lap? Who's first to get a lap in? I think it is Jamaican Jam. Yes, it is. It'll be Jamaican Jam first to start a lap. Or no, we'll put one in. Actually. And currently, the championship leader currently by 4 points in this one. And it is going to be a championship battle in these last 3 rounds. No sleeping for these drivers. It's full, flat out to the checkered flag of the final race in about 3 rounds time. But first we have to get through this as Jamaican Jam sets a 1:10.303, and I think annihilates the lap record already. I don't think that lap record was really fast if it was that. No, actually no, he didn't beat it. He didn't beat the lap. Oh, and Jelmo, the reigning world champion, it's a 1:9.872, and yeah, that destroys the lap record, doesn't it? Oh, interesting. Anyways, next up, Ryan Brooks goes first in what I think is that a debut? He's had a debut for Ryan Brooks, and someone answer that for me later. With a 196 for Ryan Brooks. After the pole sitter last time out, and for the past few rounds, will not be in this one, so he cannot keep up that pole streak. As Watson goes ahead of Jamaican Jam for his banker lap in the 1.9s as well. Quincy won last time out, goes fourth in this race. We have only 14 drivers in this one, unfortunately, compared to last time out's attendance. And only 12 drivers that will actually take part in this qualifying session. I'm just copying the link here so I can advertise this. Currently, you have a bit of a weird grid so far. Not the top four that we usually see, except for Watson. But for the most part, we have a pretty decent grid. 14 drivers. In this one, the two Aston boys were not able to make it, so you weren't able to get 16, which would have been cool. A bit better. And oh no, and a bit of a spin and full front wing off for Steph on their in-lap, I think that was. And just dropping it, maybe, probably not caring too much. And yeah, no, that it's gonna be a long drive back to the pits now for the Red Bull. Anyways, we have apparently the OG Tristan will be reserving this one. That there's also a curb that you can get stuck on. There's a lot of curbs on this track that you can get stuck on, including right there, that one. If you cross over the line, because there's two layers of that curb, and if you cross over it, half of it, your tire gets stuck on it. You can't turn off of it, and you can't. Oh, someone's lost their wing there as well. So top bits of debris across this track that we are seeing. And of course, remember that the Constructors' Championship currently seeming fully Alpine's favor as it stands right now, but what isn't really set in stone is gonna be that I was just gonna see Monty Marble go for a second run in this lap in this first few flying laps that we are seeing. And now with the boring technical qualifying where no one's on track, everyone's waiting to go for a second run or their final run at the end. It's a 23-point gap for the Constructors' Championship, which is actually pretty closer than I thought it was. But for those Drivers' Championship, dude, it's really close. 4 points between Watson and Jamaican Jam, who's down in P8. And Watson is actually up in P3 as it stands, so it's going a lot in Watson's favor right now. Jamaican Jam has the championship points advantage, but Watson currently has the pace advantage and is going out for a lap, and Jamaican Jam is actually on a lap and is going to finish it in just a moment's time. ADS keeps disconnecting. I don't think I have him added. I'll check in a moment. After we see Jamaican Jam get a lap in, and goes P4 behind Watson, not able to break into the 109s. Monty Marlborough coming up to the line. What can he do? It's going to be P4 to take Jamaican Jam down a place away from his title rival, Gelmel. The reigning world champion goes pole position so far with a 109.5. These are some pretty fast times, actually, for what I usually set. And do I have ADS added to get him in? I do not, unfortunately. And you can't add people mid-race, can you? Anyways, sorry for this momentary pause. But now, we are 9 minutes left to go in qualifying, and we're currently looking at people getting in their second runs of the day before their final, trying to get laps in. You get 3 sets of soft tires for qualifying, or no, 3 sets of soft tires for the entire, for the qualifying and the race. And, you know, most drivers, they use all of them. I personally only use 2. I only go for 2 runs, and I save a set. But for the most part, it doesn't really make a difference. You only burn off 7-9% of the tire wear going on for a run. For your in lap, your out lap, your flying lap, and your in lap. If Tristan is on a lap and he's invalidated one, I think he's going to be in. Did he get held up by Al Flanker, who's going to be going for a first lap here? He didn't get stuck on the curb there, luckily for him. But he is going to, he's going to lose it under the DRS. Get onto the grass, trying to keep it close to the grass. Trying to keep it close, and yeah, it's only a 1:11.4. Probably lost a bunch of tenths in that final section there. 7 minutes 30 seconds left to go in this qualifying, and so far, Gelmel leads off this session, really, with only 14 drivers. 12 were actually eligible to set a time. And on a Thursday evening in the UK and a afternoon in the United States, currently, it's rather quiet on the track. This speedy, windy track. It's really a flow track. If you get one going wrong, you mess up the next, and it can be a disaster on your lap, especially with how tight the walls are to the track as well. The runoffs are, there's a lot of runoff, but it's rather close to the track, and Steph goes up into the 110s, but it's not enough to move up place. You'll have to wait till the final section of this qualifying in his final run. And currently you can see, yeah, how fast this track is. Oh, what? We're not gonna look at that. Just tightening, and then you throw it in. I haven't actually looked on board any of the drivers yet. Should check audio levels real quick if anyone wants to tell me about that. And now, burning ERS down this straight. It's a short track, so you don't really have to worry about how much ERS limit you have, and it's really easy to... It's not easy to get track limits violations in this one, because, I mean, if you get a track limits violation, your lap's over anyway. Anyways, because you probably ended up in the grass, because there's not much runoff, as we said. And now, short run to the line. Oh, tapping the wall, but it's going to be P4 for Lord TV to push Jamaica Jam another place down away from his title rival. And currently, a bit unfortunate for the number 20 Alpine, who is on a flying lap, so he can actually improve off of this one here, or will he be straight into the pits to be able to make a final run? Or is this the final run? I'm going to see now Jamaican Gem throw it in the pit lane now. To actually see the gaps instead, I kind of want to see that. And the number 20 Alpine there currently leading off the standings, as we've said before. And we'll say it many times again. Oh! Lord TV struggling to get the car back in the right direction. On the exit of turn 12, that is. Under the Louis Vuitton boards. As we see Brams, I think, starting a lap, or is that yeah, no, that's finishing a lap. And currently P7 for Brams, who finished in a nice position last time out. P5 for the Ferrari in the UK. Quincy actually on a lap as well. Or no, I think that'll be in the pits maybe because not burning anything. Yeah, it's gonna be straight in order to be able to get a final run. Oh, and speeding in the pits to maximize time. Currently Flix is on a lap. I think that might be. It will because he's burning. Unless, I think you would want to pull in the pits at this point if you want to get that final run all the way at the end. But he's just a fast second sector, but he's down in his time, so I don't think that's a real fast second sector. There is a little bit of a glitch where it says it on the map, but it doesn't say it on your actual sector times, which is what matters. And now getting on the power of the ERS and opening that DRS for the final corner, then up to the line. It's going to be P4 for Flix. Nicely done for the Williams driver to get himself into that top 5 in that P4, but half a second off the fast time so far. Not in the 109s, unfortunately, for Flix. But now we're going to see Brams, who actually is on a lap now. And isn't saving any ERS. And that is one thing you want to know. You can put your ERS mode into none and save it through those corners where the braking zones and actually gain some back so you have enough to burn down the entire way of that second straight and all the way up to the line. Which is something you'd want to do. Like, say you wouldn't burn here, you'd save it, and then you'd burn it all the way to the line, but I don't think he'll have enough to make it to the line all the way. And it's P2, it's a Ferrari 1-2 so far. Gelmel and Brams separated by less than a tenth. Currently, P1 and 2 for these Ferraris. In an impressive fashion, Zandvoort looks to be a Ferrari track, and now Brams is not going to have enough time to really get back for another lap, and I don't think he'll have enough fuel either. You can also see Tristan, or no, it is going to be Watson, will be first to come up to the line, get a lap in these final section, and he's not able to, he's improved, but he hasn't gone up any places. And yeah, that'll be it. Gelmel sets another lap faster to improve their pole position time. Lord TV comes in to start a lap. Monty Marlborough, currently on a lap as it stands now, going for another one. El Flanker has crashed on the exit there. Steph has crashed as well. We're seeing a lot of yellow flags of people going slowly. So I can't see the times that people are setting. El Flanker retires. We'll be starting P12. The bottom 4 will be set, so it's all about the top 10 to try and get laps in. We see Jamaican Jam looking to improve. We have Tristan now, who's going to finish a lap, going all ERS for this final bit, and is not able to improve. Actually, 11 seconds down, backed off of that lap. Ryan Brooks is able to go P2, less than half a tenth off. 200ths off of the lead there. We're going to see Watson, who's going to be into the pits, I think. Or no, he's going to come across the line to finish it off. In the end there, Lord TV crashes at the end of qualifying. We can see that, yeah, crashing. Right off there, Monty Marlborough can only go P7, not able to improve. The Ferrari of Brams is going to be into, Gelmel is going to be into the pits. But here comes Jamaica Jam. This is what matters for the championship leader. And is not able to improve. Only P8 for the Alpine driver, who is currently at the top of the board. And it's going to be SSRO Quincy. Race winner last amount, only P5. And it's going to be Tristan to set the final lap of this session. I don't think it's going to be on one. I think it's going to be in the pits. Or no, he's burning. This is to the line. For Tristan. What will it be? For the Red Bull driver in this one. P4! For Tristan in a nice qualifying effort. The top 5 separated by less than 3/10. So it's pretty close in qualifying. And it's a 109.483 that'll bring Jomel, the former world champion, reigning world champion, who will take pole position in the Netherlands. Anyways. And a bit of banner going on our Discord as well. Jamel, the reigning world champion, will take pole position with followed by Ryan Brooks and Brams, the other Ferrari, in P3. So it's a 1-3 for Ferrari. Tristan P4, Watson P5, Quincy P6, Flix P7, Lord P8. Jamaican Jam will be P10, Monty Marlborough P9, Steph P11, El Flanker P12, and Shy and ADS were not able to get lap times in retiring before the session. I think there might have been qualifying bans in that one. And we'll be getting into this one. I wonder if there's rain. That would be pretty crazy. Oh, it's overcast. We might get it. And there's also a scam chatter right in there as well. In our chat, unfortunately. And we're just gonna have to wait for this one to really get underway. 14 drivers on the grid waiting to rev their engines, get this one going in a couple seconds, moments time. And now we wait for lights out on the grid at Zandvoort. And we're gonna have it just now. On the beaches of the Netherlands, the 5 lights are on and it's go time. Jelmel gets a good start ahead of Ryan Brooks and Brams. Brams holding alongside the Mercedes and getting all the way. They're going to be 3 wide into turn 1, but now Brams looking forward on his teammate. The ADS gets a slow start contact for the Haas at the back. I think that was El Flanker dropping down a bit of positions. Jamaican Jam got a good move on, and it's a Ferrari 1-2 by the time they get to turn 3. There's a bit of a crash there, actually. Lord TV in the barriers, and we're going to get a virtual safety car. Before we even finish the first sector, and Lord TV is missing their full front wing, and this tight track, quick sweeping corners, and possible strategies, one stop for hards or to the mediums in this 36 lap race. And this virtual safety car won't last that long. They only last about half a lap in this game, so I don't think it'll be enough time for Lord TV to get back into the pits. But we wait now to have the action go back to green. The field is very close together as by the time we get here. And I think if this ends before, a bit of a danger is that the Delta makes drivers slow down before as Monty Marlborough spins and it goes green, but Monty Marlborough's gonna have to reset the track to get back going. Ryan Brooks looks towards the inside of the Ferrari, but it's not going to work, and Tristan's going to go around the outside to try and get a move on turn 1. He's not able to get it. Lord TV gets a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane, but in turn 3, they're not able to get any moves on. Tristan looks for the inside, but Ryan Brooks goes high to try and get a run across. Tristan gets a bit wide. Watson and Quincy are able to take advantage of it and get past before turn 7, but now Tristan is going to look to the inside. He's not able to get it done, and he drops down a few places. while trying to go on the offensive. It went wrong. Now into turn 7, no one goes wide, no one gets on the curb, no one falls to the demise of what happens when you go wide in that corner. And now it's DRS wide open for Brams looking to take the lead off the teammate, and now ADS spins and will not get any damage, doesn't get into the wall, but it's unfortunate stuff, and now we have a field-wide DRS train in Zandvoort, ladies and gentlemen. And now Bram's going to open the DRS wide open off the banked corner of the Ari Leyendeck curve, and now he's going to take the lead away from his teammate, but now it's going to leave Jumel at the risk of Ryan Brooks, who's not close enough to make a move, luckily for the Ferraris, and now they're just going to have to try and DRS train and swap in order to hold off this Mercedes, but Jelmel's going to have to hope that he isn't looking for a move, because those hard tires at this track do not have a lot of grip. ADS retires in the pits lane, and Ryan Brooks is going to be on the outside for the corner. He's going to get past, because Jelmel's going to have to back out of that one, and now it's given Brams a bit of a lead through turn 7 and 8 and 9. The second sector being really windy, and now Jelmel, unfortunately, on those hard tires, cannot get the grip. It's probably a cold day out there on the track, and the hard tires just cannot warm up like they would want them to. I tried them yesterday in a race, in a different league race, at the same track here, and they just did not fire up the way I wanted them to. And that is good research to know, that the hard tires are not the optimal tires sometimes at this track. And now Ryan Brooks is going to be able to get both Ferraris. The Tristan goes into the barriers there for, unfortunately for him, Jamaican Jam is not able to get the DRS, but Ryan Brooks takes the lead of this race away from the other Ferrari, was not able to defend with the DRS, and now Ryan Brooks soars off into the distance to try and pull away. Maybe he's better on race pace than he was in that qualifying session. And now the Ferrari's trying to scramble, but no, Bram's going to make a mistake, unfortunately for him, and he's almost getting it wide off of that curb, putting a lot of risk in the air there. And now he almost drops out of the DRS as well. Ryan Brooks just has the race pace, and Bram's just making too many mistakes in this one, and this DRS zone doesn't give you any pace against them, really. Because under acceleration, most of that straight is just acceleration with how short it is. The DRS doesn't do a lot, and he's going to lose the DRS as well, unfortunately for him. And Jelmel, who's trying to catch up there, but not able to do anything about that one. Jelmel's going to take P2 away from his teammate. Quincy's going to be looking for the outside. There's going to be a Haas losing the full wing. That's our flanker, who goes into the pits off of the soft tires. And Flicks gets past Steph as well for P8. Jamaican Jam gets passed by Tristan. Unfortunately for the championship leader, and currently, as it stands, Watson has the championship lead, taking it away from Jamaican Jam, who had a dominant lead earlier on in the season. But now Jelmel can't gain back, or Kenny. He pulls back into the DRS zone, but then loses it again. But no, actually, Jelmel is gaining on Ryan Brooks. Is there a mistake, or is this pure pace from the Ferraris, who are having an amazing weekend out there in this one? Fastest second sector of the race for Jelmel, who doesn't get the DRS off of turns 12, unfortunately, so is not able to get that DRS open around the banking down the main straight, the longest straight on this track. And it won't work out there, but now Quincy's going to get past Watson, one of the championship rivals, passed by last race's winner. And actually, you have 3 drivers at the back, unfortunately, who just can't pit for wing damages or other unfortunate things that did happen to them, and now they are way at the back, and they're probably hoping for a safety car or a red flag or anything that can bring them back into play. This track is one that can catch out those unawares and really bring consequence to those who wander a bit too far off of the limit. And now Quincy is able to get DRS on Brams on his quest to try and get a P3 in this one. Maybe even the win. If he can catch up to Gemma, who does get the DRS on the Mercedes in this. Coming out of turn 12. Yeah, it is going to be DRS. For the Ferrari now. Coming out of the banked corner of turn 14. And now Ryan Brooks is going to have to keep an eye in his mirrors. Because Gemma is going to get that DRS to really gain all the way to the back of that Mercedes. And now this race is coming together for the Ferraris. It's coming back to them in a way, especially for Gelmo, as the tires maybe wear out a bit. It is a high-speed track with a lot of stress on those rear left, oh no, on the left side of the car. A lot of right-hand corners, really putting huge loads on those medium tires and even the soft tires, if that even is in the question at this race. Currently a bad one out for Monty Marlboro and Lord TV, who got taken out on the first lap even. And actually, now Gelmel loses the DRS again. No inroads so far in these past few laps for the Ferraris. We enter a bit of a boring stage of this one. And now, this DRS train really fronted by Gelmel, who's trying to get back into the DRS of Ryan Brooks. They can't make any moves really at this stage. As he go into turns 2 and 3. Banked corners. Really quick. You can hold a lot of momentum in those ones. But yeah, those hard tires are just not working out so far for Gelmo. We see a bit of split strategy decisions here from these drivers. The mediums are faster on the track, but the hards, they lose a lot of pace at this one because it is colder. And actually, Quincy's right on the back of Brams now, really getting on to this for this move because he's lost DRS to his teammate. I think Gelmo might have gotten the DRS there. Did he? No, he did not. But now Quincy's going to have an easy move in this one, using the DRS wide open there, and already go looking for it before they even came out of the banking. Goes to the side, and now we're going to look at Watson here. Is he closing enough? Is he closing enough? Is he going to be able to get the move done? No, he is not. It's not enough for Watson to make the move, but now Quincy is able to try and pull off in the distance and try and go for Gelmel, as these Ferraris are starting to drop down the field a little bit. And now it's Mercedes having the good day in this one. 1-3 compared to Ferrari, who started... Ferrari started 1-3, now the Mercedes have put themselves 1-3 in this one. And could they make it a 1-2 for max points in this race? As well as actually see a battle at the back out flanker getting passed by Lord TV, but Lord TV is still going to have to hold this one on the outside. 4P11, they're still side by side. Going into turns 2, and Lord TV is just going to back out. He knows that Flanker's a bit too slow, and he might not trust it enough for them to hold anything in that. And they're still in the first sector. These guys are just finishing the lap. As now Quincy's looking to close in on Gelmel. He got the DRS now. And he did what Brams couldn't. As now, Tristan loses the full wing, and we're going to have a full safety car. They're going to be in the pits. The top 5 were not able to get into the pits quick enough. Now, I think the order's going to say the same, but Steph stays out and takes 6th. He thinks it's too early to pit. He might be going for a one-stopper here and use a safety car to save the tires. But now that the full safety cars come out, this race has changed up a little bit. It'll bring Gelmel back into the DRS of Ryan Brooks. It'll bring Ryan Brooks a bit of a sigh of disappointment now, maybe, because now he's gonna have to wait. But now I kind of wonder if the tier, what am I talking about? Tiers P6 there. Are they going to be close enough to take away a P top 5 for that? Because he's still really close to the back of the likes of Watson. Only 12 seconds so far, but there is still the delta. Ryan Brooks is going to come into the pits. Yeah, they're all in the pits. Jelma comes in the pits to get rid of those hard tires. Yeah, the top 5 are all in. They came very slowly into the pits. I think Steph is going to be able to come out ahead of all of them. Yeah, he is. No, Steph is going to come into the pits. Late. So now Jamaican Jam is going to have to get the move on. He's got no delta now. He's going to get ahead of Steph, but I don't think he'll get ahead of anyone else. He already pit earlier on. And now is Jamaican Jam able to use a bit of pace? And no, he's not able to get the outside to try and take it up. But he's now P6. And actually, the championship would be tied as it stands. A tie going into the last 2 rounds would be insane if they stay in these positions. But I don't think Jamaican Jam would like it. So he's going to have to try and make a push to try and get back into that. And hold his lead. Now, keep in mind, with the tie, Jamaican Jam would still lead it on countback, but I don't think he wants to because with 2 races to go, you only care about the countback if it's after the final round. But now this is also a godsend for Lord TV, Monty Marlboro, and El Flanker, who can now catch up to the rest of the field after having unfortunate first laps, having to pit for damage. I think we'll have another lap of this safety car. I think it is crazy how that banking has DRS. I mean, it's easy to make. It's not like they have any issues with it, but it is just crazy to think how they did extend that DRS. But it does help for the overtaking down to the turn 1, doesn't it? But now I think these drivers, I mean, oh, Jamel goes off the track. Nothing bad there, though, for the P2 man so far and the reigning world champion from last season. Brams, as it stands, would take P3 in the standing, so that'd be very nice for them. Jelma, as it stands, would jump up to P2. He's 9, as it stands. No, that's a lie. He would go up to P8. Quincy would jump himself up to, I'm gonna do the math real quick. Yeah, no, P9. Quincy would jump himself up to P5 in the standings after what was a amazing last race out. Currently P3 for the race winner last time out, and now we're gonna get the move on because the safety car is in this lap. And now we'll have the green flags at the end of this one. Ryan Brook controls the pace ahead of Jelmel and Quincy. Now, when does he go? Does he wait it out, or does he go early and try and catch out these drivers? We'll keep an eye on that telemetry. We'll see when does he put it full throttle. When does he call the cards? He holds everyone up, makes their tires cool down because they're not weaving, but he is, and he's going to put it full throttle now. And he's gotten a nice run actually away from Gelmel. And Quincy actually got alongside the P2 man. Watson pulled him up and is still behind them as well. Quincy's going to have to back out of it. Unfortunately for him, he's not able to get the move done. And we're going to have mostly single file through the first corner, except for those top two. Or top three, really, as actually Watson hits the back of Quincy's rear wing as we soar towards the turn 7 and the end of sector 1, as we see side by side actually between two cars there. Al Flecker gets past Shy. Shy's just have to back out of that one as well. Gelmel is right on the back of Ryan Brooks, but he's not able to get moves in this middle sector where it's relatively single file, no silly business from these drivers. But he goes to the inside there and he almost looks for that dive. And will he have it actually in turn 11? No, he's not. It's not a corner you also make moves at, even though it's at the end of a DRS straight. It's not ideal to make a move there because of how tight it is. And then basically 90-degree right-hander into the medium speed corner. You'd lose too much time. But now, Gelmel is going to go to the inside. Thank you very much, you'll say, and he can try to cut it off, but Ryan Brooks is still going to be on the outside. He still holds it because there was no DRS, but Gelmel is going to take the lead of this race on lap 14 and take back what that pole position that he thinks was rightfully his. As we see side by side, and Shy is going to get half spun in turn 2. Trying to go side by side into that corner is not usually the best idea that you could do, as Watson looks to the inside, not able to get a move on there. He wants to get a move on to try and take the lead of this championship away from Jamaican Jam. He's going to look for the inside on Quincy's not able to get it done there, unfortunately for him. And now they have the DRS open. Ryan Brooks lost DRS with his hard tires that are probably pretty cold, as we discussed earlier. And Flix is going to be able to get past Tristan, but now they're still going to be side by side, and Flix is going to be off the track, so will Tristan. And they both came to blows there. The both of them. And now Watson's going to be right on the back of Quincy using ERS and Slipstream. They both have DRS. He's going to be diving it down the inside and not able to. It's not really a corner where dive bombs work out very well, but it's still possible. As now Tristan is looking for it on Lord TV on the inside into turn 2. He still holds it. Lord TV is just going to back out of that one, but cut across to the outside, and Tristan blocks it off and is able to hold on, says, no, you don't, and just holds it on. But now Monty Marble around the outside of a flanker in turn 6 and into 7. He is ahead, as a flanker's going to have to back out into the long right-hander, sweeping corner. That it is there. No one has gone off the track there as of yet, as Flix actually has wing damage from earlier contact with Tristan. As now we look into the 90-degree corner. Tristan actually gets the first person to get a 3-second time penalty for track limits. Not an easy track to get them at, because it is relatively straightforward. As now Watson gets into the top 3 here, and now, as it stands, has the lead of the championship once again. And actually, you see Flix, who I saw on the map, he got stuck on the curb. Can notice it on the map, as Ryan Brooks is back into DRS distance of Gelmel. And now Tristan comes to contact with someone, and he's got wing damage. Now, as the yellow flags come out for at his dismay. Now Lord TV seeks down the place that Elf Flanker has in that top 10 for 9th position he's looking for. Ryan Brooks has DRS for this race lead and is looking to make that move on that main straight. Just over half a second between those two drivers, and I think Watson actually got the DRS as well. No, he didn't. So Quincy's going to have that in the bag. But now is Ryan Brooks close enough into turn 1? He's not. He pulls out looking for the move. But now we're going to see a lot of side-by-side action through the banking for Lord TV and Shy. Side-by-side to turn 1. Tristan's going to get the move on El Flanker, but now Shy's going to have to look for it as well. A bit of contact between them. El Flanker gets a little pushed off to the side. And Shy's going to still hold the move, and he keeps it. And now Lord TV is going to be off and spinning rounds. Is there any damage on that Alpine? It'd be really unfortunate if he did have it, and he doesn't have any damage, but he's still at the back, and it's the second time that he has had to come to blows with someone. As now El Flanker looks for the inside and goes through Shy's car in the Haas. Interesting. As now El Flanker opens the DRS and tries to close in, but now I think Ryan Brooks, he's got the same distance, so I don't think he'll be able to get the move on here. But he's burning all the way down the straight, and yeah, he's not going to be close enough into turn 1. Quincy might be. No, he's not. Neither Mercedes able to get into the insides of these drivers. That was, or neither able to get on the inside. Shy now, looking for the move on the damaged Red Bull. Not able to get it done in turn 1, but he's still going to be side by side. He's still going to be able to hold it. Is he going to back out? Yes, he is. Oh, but Tristan gets a bit onto the curb and drops a bit wide. And he's now going to get the run away, being ahead. And now Flanker's going to be on the back of Shy in case they make a mistake. It was a Ferrari 1-3 at the start of this one. It's now 1-5. Bram's dropping a bit down the order, not able to catch up a lot. As now Jamaican Jam is looking to close in and take away Brams's plus team after the okay. And oh no! Watson, the second in the championship, is going to be in the wall and have damage off of the banking of turn 14. And now, what was looking like the championship lead after this one is going to turn into... My mic is a bit quiet. Is now going to turn into disaster for Haas in this race. The mic's at full volume, so I don't really know what I can do after that. I think I'm just quiet in general. And now fixing the wing is just going to be really unfortunate, as one of the championship contenders is going to lose out, and now it's going to be no points, and Jamaican Jam is going to gain 10. So now, as it stands, Jamaican Jam, instead of the championship being tied, is going to be 14 points clear. And, well, what a race that we were looking at here. We had a safety car, and oh, for the first time in this one, someone gets caught out by the curb on the exit of turn 9 and is going to be off the track. And I said it before, you could lose a lot of time by doing that, and unfortunately, Tristan is going to come fatal for that. And now they're going to be a little bit of contact in the turn 11. And Shy now, they're going to be a three-way battle, 3 wide for the P9. And they hold off, but now Flanker's going to be side by side with him. And they're still going to be holding off. Now into turn 14, DRS wide open for the both of them, side by side out of the banking. And Watson is going to lose, or no, El Flanker is going to lose out to 2 cars at once. And now Shy's going to be on the inside, diving down the inside, a bit of contact made. The Red Bull has damage, and now Shy is going to be able to hold it on, but Red Bull is going to be pushed onto the curb and onto the gravel as well. Now they're still going to be side by side, no contact there in turn 2, but oh, and a bit of contact, they all lose their front wing end plates. And in the Constantino effect in the carousel, and unfortunately for both of them, for Shy and El Flanker, they lose positions and they lose their wings. And amazing battling in the midfield for P9. But now, here's what I want to look at. Ryan Brooks, on the back of Gel Mel, has DRS in the turn 1 and on the main straight, out of turn 14, the final corner, the banked corner. And now Gel Mel is going to go defensive on the inside. They're going to make a bit of contact down into turn 1. And Jelmel loses the lead to Ryan Brooks. And Ryan Brooks takes back the lead that he had before the safety car and lost to Jelmel. And he takes it back with DRS. And now he starts pulling away quickly as those medium tires probably start wearing out. Shai is going to be on the inside of Tristan again in the Red Bull. They both have damage, so there's going to be a bit of contact as well. And Shai is not able to get that one done on his, 5th attempt in this race. Tristan is just a mobile chicane in this race for the Williams of Shai. Williams, another bad day for them, and an awful, horrid day for Haas in this one, hoping for a safety car probably. Yet again, as Flicks actually retires from the race, and we're going to see a safety car. No, a virtual safety car, but what happened to Flicks? Retiring on his own, he just immediately off the map. And now this is really going to piss off Jelmel, who was looking for a move into turn 1. And now he's going to have to take the virtual safety car to come into the pits. Taking advantage of not having to be at full speed in green flag conditions. But he's going to drop down to 5th. Actually, no, it's going to be 6th for Jelmel, who's leading the race. Now, and now Flanker gets it's P2, almost leading the race. Then the virtual safety car now, Flanker gets a drive-through for speeding under the virtual safety car. Tristan gets a 10-second time penalty for speeding under the speeding in the pit lane. Flanker gets a 10-second stop penalty as well for speeding in the pit lane. So, a lot of speeding in the pit lane for these drivers. And, it's a bit good for Jelmel, who is able to... What is it? Close in a little bit. As now Lord TV loses the car coming out of the carousel and doesn't have any damage, but that's now the 3rd time and is going to be in the barriers. Losing the car again. And now losing the end plate. Unfortunately for him. Now the tires are going to be burning on that Alpine car. And now being a mobile chicane for El Flanker, who has to come through turns 5, which is barely even a corner in itself. And this is just a horrid race for Lord TV, unfortunately for him. Nothing he can do, really, with how this one is going for him. Unless the safety car comes out. Unless a safety car comes out, he got taken out yet again, so... What can he do? Except for stop spinning, maybe. Maybe that would help him. As now Tristan and El Flanker both go off the track and in the gravel. And now the Haas is gonna come to blows, maybe, with the Red Bull. Or did one of them get in the gravel? Whatever it was, El Flanker's gonna have the DRS to try and close in. And now he's going to be in the pits because he got a drive-through. And he's been in the pit lane again. So now he's got 20 seconds worth of penalties. Does the Haas. Oh, and this is just a horrid race for him. And he's not going to get any points, is he? OTV, though, is right on the back of Tristan, who has wing damage yet again, despite after fixing it. And, oh no! Rams found out that the curb is devastating. He's going to have wing damage. Oh, that is severe wing damage. He's going to be straight into the pit lane. As well as we're going to see Jelmel make an easy pass for P5. No, it's not. He's going to spin Monty Marlborough in the process. And what was fighting for the race win is now going to become possibly a penalty. If Monty Marlborough chooses to report it, that could be a 5 seconds right there. And that is really unfortunate for Monty Marlborough. Still P5, which he was looking at, but now it's just going to be even worse. As now Tristan will be into the pits. And he retires from the race. In the pit lane. Which is fair enough. I wouldn't be in this race either if I was P11. And now we're going to see Steph on Shy looking at the inside into turn 11, not able to get that one done. I don't know why he would even think of making the move there either. Considering he's got DRS here, and I think he might actually get the move on, done, right off the banking even. Now, Shy goes defensive, and Steph goes right past. As now, actually, Lord TV is going to be in the wall again. And for the 5th time this race, Lord TV, he's not only at risk of getting lapped, he is spinning out yet again. And it's not that hard to stay on this track, is it? Maybe start turning on assists if you can't stay on the track. That is a good idea. Now, not one person is in DRS distance, so we're kind of in a boring stage of this one. With about 12 laps, 11 laps to go. At the end of this one. And you could Ryan Brooks win this one on his first race this season. I think it is. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anyways, you have 11 runners left in this one. A small field of drivers who are all on the right side of the track. Turn sectors 3 and 1. Tristan leaves the session. He's retired anyway, so it's not going to matter. So actually, Lord TV gets lapped. And it's going to be the first driver to get lapped in this one. What a feat. What a feat. Didn't think we'd be seeing that in this race. As Shy pits while that front wing is being replaced. And Lord TV gets out of the way for Quincy. We're going to have an impressive run of form in these last 2 races. P1 and P2, it's quite consistent. Isn't it? As now Gelmel's on the back of Jamaican Jam. Gelmel's already pit in this race. He'll go to the end. But will he have a penalty coming onto his hands at the end of it? And when do Ryan Brooks and Quincy pull the plug? Or are they just going to go for the one stop as Jamaican Jam knows it's not his fight and will back off in the turn 1 and won't risk anything as Lord TV gets out of their way. And his teammates' way as well. So Lord TV, maybe you could learn a few things off your teammate, you know? I'm sorry for being rude. I'll probably get in trouble for saying that. Now, it's only 5 seconds the gap between these drivers. But now, will Gelmel have dead tires at the end of this one yet again? Or should he have tried to go for newer tires? The second sector of this track is kind of like Monaco, where you don't see a lot of moves in these windy pits, except for turn 1 and the straights, really. And Jamaica Jam's going to get a nice DRS toe to keep a bit of pace in the car. As actually we're going to see Shy finding the barriers and losing more of that wing that they already lost before, and actually going to find the gravel trap as well. Interesting stuff. Trying to get temperature in those soft tires, maybe overcooked it on the grass. And yeah, now there's no grip in that car for that William. Coming around the stadium section, getting, on that curb, really, can't steer the car, can he? As now is going to get stuck on that curb and in the barriers yet again, and he's going to lose the full front wing and actually crash fully out of the race. And that is a virtual safety car. Oh, and it's a full safety car. Oh, lordy lord. The gamble of staying out has worked for them, and now Shy fully out of the race is guaranteed points for everyone, and now they're all going to be in the pits. Jamaican Jam's gonna be in the bench. Jamel's gonna stay. Why would you stay out? Why? Why? What was the point in staying out? Get free new tires, or did they not have any more medium sets? Does he use his two medium sets? Is that it? Is that all he could do? I mean, at this point, at this rate of the safety car, he's going to lead the race, but he's going to have a huge tire deficit. And Alflanker puts on... Okay. Alflanker puts on the intermediate tires for a good measure. He's lapped anyways, actually, so... there isn't much he can do. And that is something we don't usually see. Intermediate tires on a dry track. Now, I really feel like it's going to be down to Ryan Brooks or Quincy or Jamaican Jam to try and take a win in this one, because we're going to have a little bit of a short sprint to the end in this race. But I don't think Mel, he's got the track position, but the reigning world champion does not have the tires to do it. And Watson also goes to the intermediate tires as well. And, you know, I think he might be waiting for the end of this safety car, putting on the intermediate tires to catch up, and then pitting quickly to a new set of soft tires or medium tires and pushing it to the end. I mean, the nearest driver to him is a lap down, so there's nothing that's going to affect him. And then they might be going to they might be going to intermediate tires to pull into the pits. And what the hell is Quincy doing? Oh, they went to intermediate tires because it's raining. Ladies and gentlemen, it is raining in Zandvoort. And at the end, the safety car came out when the rain started pouring. So, are these drivers going to intermediate tires thinking it's going to go wet, let's come into the pits? And was Quincy actually thinking going into the pit lane, but Watson, or no, Elflanker holds him out? Now, whatever we're going to see here, it is starting to pour. The severity, no idea. But you know what, whatever it is, I kind of want to turn on the weather effects because I want some... I have my graphics all the way to the low because my computer can't really handle it very nicely, but... you know, I'll turn up the weather. You know, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to risk it. Now, Watson has gone to the intermediates, Monty Marlboro have gone to the intermediates, and they're not a lap down. So, could this be a godsend for them? Or will it turn out to be a bit of a hassle? But now if the rest of the field responds, they're going to take the lead of the race. And if we do get a wet weather finish, it'll be a pretty chaotic one to say the least. And now we see Quincy, Jamaican Jam, all in. Jamaican Jam doesn't want to risk this championship lead, maybe. Gelmel as well. Brams comes in as well. They're double stacking at Ferrari. And the whole field, except for Ryan Brooks, has gone to the intermediate tires. Watson takes P2. Monty Marlboro P3. We have two lapped car. We're gonna have two lapped cars in the middle of this pack. Steph is in as well. Will they unlap them? The only way to unlap drivers in this game, because it's stupid, is really to... the person has to go off the track, and the game prompts them to pass them. If the person ahead is off track in this Fun 25 game, but there's no... unless they are at the front of the queue, the lapped car is at the front of the queue, there will be... it will not let them unlap themselves. They will have to pull off to the side at the start of the safety car. It's going to be in this lap. So Ryan Brooks is going to be the only driver in this field on the medium tires. So this can either be a godsend or it can either be an amazing strategy call or one that will end his hopes of a race win. Whatever it is, we are on a progressively getting wetter track on a field that is on a track that usually tends to have a bit of chaos when it comes to the wet and really heats up because you can start making moves in places where you wouldn't usually on the wet track. But now Ryan Brooks goes, Watson follows from not that far behind, and they're already side by side in the midfield as well, and they're already passing each other. But is there going to be any illegal overtakes here? I don't think there will be. There's a bit of ghosting there. The 3 wide. Jamaican Jam. No, it's the ghosting lapped cars getting in the mix. There's already a huge gap as well. Watson is still right on the back of Ryan Brooks. Are these intermediates correct? El Flanker gets out of the way. Lord TV gets out of the way. And now they're still side by side. Or they're still going to follow, actually. But they're still relatively close by the time they get to turn 7 at the end of Sector 1. Not a lot of moves going on, but Gelmel gets passed by Quincy as well in that chaos. As Ryan Brooks is starting to pull away, actually, but it's still... Oh, yeah, no, he is sliding. It is intermediate conditions, ladies and gentlemen. In the Netherlands. And has this gone horribly wrong for Ryan Brooks? Because we'll see if DRS gets enabled at the end of this lap. And yeah, no, he is gaining a lot. I think we're on more intermediate track, or the crossover, really. I don't get the weather reports in this one. And the DRS was not activated. So it is wet conditions. You know it's wet conditions if the DRS is disabled. That is really the main point that you get told by the game. If DRS is disabled, it's most likely intermediate conditions that you want to go to. And now this also heats up the race a lot because Watson made the good decision to do it early. He made the stop early. He got it done. And Jamaican Jam is struggling out there. And I think Watson's going to be able to get a nice lead out of this race after first taking the lead. And then now he's going to really get a nice one out of it. The gap will be 12 points for Watson if the positions stay the same. But can he take the win out of this one as the track gets wetter and wetter? But no, the DRS was enabled. The DRS was enabled, and now Quincy's going to get past Monty Marlborough. And Watson is going to be really close to the back of Ryan Brooks now as the track gets even progressively soggier. Jamaican Jam got DRS from El Flanker, I think, who was lapped and now is on the back of these drivers, actually proving to have a bit of pace in the wet. But now is Ryan Brooks going to start struggling, or are we on equal playing field, equal pegging in this one? Watson's starting to drop back. I think the intermediates aren't faster as it stands as Lord TV finds the barriers for the 58th time this race. Or no, just finds himself backwards for the 50th time this race. And he's missing both of his end plates. So why are you even on the track anymore? I mean, I get he's doing it for the points, but he's a lap down. Why wouldn't you just pit? I mean, not retire. Watson does not get the DRS on this progressively losing track. And Jamaican Jam, he's not within a second, but he's getting the DRS from... And now it's more of a recovery race for Jamaican Jam to try and hold on as much as he can to the lead of the standings, and I think the intermediates are definitely faster at this point. If Watson is able to hold on, because he's gained a lot in this last few corners. And let's see how much he gains. In these fast corners, not a lot. Not a lot. Even Watson's starting to struggle a bit. Are those tires a bit too hot? Maybe? Jamaican Jam is holding on to DRS right now. And Jelmo starting to close in on Monty Marlboro, who's looking at an amazing result in this one. After what was that qualifying. DRS is still enabled, so it's still a very big crossover point, but the rain is getting a bit heavier. And in the wet, it's hard to hold on to your car. And on the last lap now, is it going to go to full wet kind of track? There's no dry line, obviously. It's not wet enough for that, I don't think. But is Watson now going to start pushing? Is he really going to push? Could this be the win for the Haas driver? Could Ryan Brooks struggle on what is starting to be a bit of older mediums? Or will it be Ryan Brooks on his first race of the season? Steph is going to mess up. He's not able to get... he's going to be able to only get P8 now. Spinning out. But now it's really wet. And Watson is going to be right on the back of Ryan Brooks. Is this going to be a move incoming? Because he's going to get the DRS. He's got to hope it doesn't get disabled soon. He's not going to be able to gun. Put the ERS, put the ERS. What are you doing? And he's not going to get it. Ryan Brooks is going to win the Dutch Grand Prix ahead of Watson, who's going to take the lead of this championship. As is Arlo Quincy, he's going to get P3 in an impressive result. Monty Marvel was able to hold on to P4 right at the end. Bram's P6. Jamaican Jam will lose the championship lead. And only P7 for him, unfortunately, in his championship charge. Steph is going to get P8. Lord TV P10. But Ryan Brooks, in wet conditions, is able to hold off from the intermediate tire drivers of Watson, who's going to take the lead of the standings by 12 points. And what a race that we've seen in the Netherlands. Ryan Brooks wins for Mercedes, taking the victory for the Britain. Watson's going to get P2 for the second time in a row. And Quincy, he won last time out. He's going to take P3 in this one. A good sum of points for him in this one. And it's Mercedes 1-3. Good points for them. They are going to go from last in the standings and jump up to P9. Yeah. Think about that. Monty Marlboro gets the games driver of the day. Most overtakes as well. Cleanest driver goes to Quincy, and Jelmo gets the fastest lap of the race. Ryan Brooks went ahead of Watson, ahead of Quincy, Monty Marlboro, and Jelmo rounds off the top 5. Brams P6, Jamaican Jam P7, Steph P8, Flanker P9, and Lord TV P10. The rest DNF'd out of the race. Let's get the race director for those who need it. Anyways, that is your race result out of this one. Only 14 drivers, it covers the whole thing. 25 points going the way of Ryan Brooks in his first time out in the season. And what a race! And we'll see you next time out next week, Thursday, same time for Division Two. Goodbye, and have a good one. I think Tier One, Division One is before that.